overnight parts from not Japan, Chippenham. Merlin Motorsports this time. Got it delivered, wired in, plumbed in. Just got to test for leaks, but I'm just going to give the, oh, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to fill them up. Let's see how it goes. Got this really bad feeling that I've forgotten something. But what's the worst that can happen? I get covered in fuel and car goes up in flames. Ooh, it's quieter. It's working. We've got good PSI. Don't appear to have any leaks. No, I did. Yeah, I'm not that accelerated yet. When I was cleaning the carbs, haven't quite got it back in straight. Let me see if I can. Alright, and look at that. Boom. Boom. Right. Get the filters back on. I'll leave that pump running for another few minutes. Just so I can be sure that it's not leaking anywhere. It sounds funny, but I think that's just because it sounds different to the old one, which was obviously not only old, but had loads of shite in it, and looking at them, it's probably a slightly older design, so that's probably why. Anyway, very nearly ready, so I've got to leave this afternoon. I'm off down to London, and then on Wednesday next week I'm at Brands Hatch for the evening track day. So if anyone's along, that's the 25th? 25th. Yeah, Wednesday the 25th I'll be on track. So just sounds a little bit fluidy, doesn't it? Is that a word? I don't know. I'm going to drive down to London, then I've got another new filter. I'll put that in when I get there, just to give it a chance to get any residual shite out of the system. But it should be good. Brand new tank, brand new line, brand new pump, new filter. Yeah, can't be anywhere else for it to leak, or not leak, but to get shite out. So I just need to pack the car up now. Need to get all of my spares, and that's always a question: what do you take, what don't you take? So I'll be taking my cardboard box of electrics, probably my socket set, spanners, yars. So I might try and fix my head cam so I can do some filming down the M11. So that'll be just so exciting. It's like literally so exciting. Right. Oh God, should we give it a crank? Should we give it a go? Box of jets. Don't need that. That out of the way. That's okay. Alright. Check the fuel pressure one more time. Fuel pressure is good. Ugh. Right. Neutral. I'm not going to pump it because it's already had quite a few pumps down its throat, so I'm just going to give it a crank. Wasn't happy there, I couldn't keep that alive. choking. Right, now I've got the choke on. Seems much happier. Right, I've got to get some more work done. I cleaned the carbs out last night. I wasn't filming, but I've just put an extra spring on there just to... I am still finding if I'm in the car, it idles differently to when I rev it from the engine bay. So yeah, it's still a work in progress, but as long as we're not getting shite in, we should know where we're starting from. So I do need to nip out and get some more oil, so I've run out, but I've got another few hours work to do, then I'll get packed up and point this motherfucker south. Oh God, just hit myself in the face. Right, I am in that London. The car's been parked up overnight. We have the new fuel pump in. Where's my bloody choke thing? Oh no, I can't find it. Oh, let's just throw it in here with gay abandon. There it is. It's been parked up overnight and we've got the new fuel pump, new tank, flush lines and everything. It's not to say that there isn't still a little bit of shite in the carbs, but coming down yesterday it was so much better. There's my girlfriend. Hello. She doing? Just laughing. Right, 3 pumps. And we're going. So I'm just going to get it warm because it was running really well yesterday, really consistent idle, but it was a bit lean. It was a bit lean in the mid-range, so I think I might have to raise the needle 1 notch. Just have to get my belts around. But I don't want to make any adjustments before I've driven the car and got it warm again, because the biggest problem I've had with this all the way through is just consistency. So yeah, I need to make sure that we're getting the same behaviour that we were yesterday. I think if we do, then it's a win. I will have beaten the car. I would have made it work. Which way does that need to go? That way. There we go. Right. So running on choke. Hopefully you can see that about 10%. 10%, not 10%. Running very rich on warm up, but it's got to. This car, yeah, this car seems to like running rich. It just runs better. It's a happier bunny. It's a happier bunny when it's rich, so right, I'll give it maybe half a kilometre, a bit more, just to get a bit of warmth in it. Then I'll turn the choke off. And yeah, we'll see where we're at, but hopefully you can see this. My head cam successes are very very limited. The only times I managed to get a good picture, it's then either gone flat or it's fallen off, so I don't hold out much hope, but let's see how we get on. So I'll tell you one thing, it is bloody hot. I'm gonna have to open that window, get a bit of airflow. If only they made a convertible. You heard that big misfire then? So I've set the rev limiter really low for when it's cold. So when it's less than 30 degrees, it will be limited to 2000 RPM. Which I suppose is just to stop accidental buzzing of the engine when it's cold and the oil isn't warm. And then as it gets up to operating temperature, I've got the hard limit at 6,750, soft limit at 6,250 I think, so it'll start to slowly cut the ignition. So yeah, hopefully that's a reasonably decent setting. Alright, water temperature's up to about 60. Now this is where I need to modify my choke implement, just so I can knock the choke down a bit. So at the moment I've got an option of full choke, or if I take this out, no choke. But once it's a little bit warm, I can keep it alive with the throttle. And the throttle and brake are quite close together, so that's not too much of an issue. Staring at me. I don't know if they're staring at the car or this dickhead that's got a telephone. Oh, you're very polite, aren't you? You could have just let me through. Won't give you much room though. Cunt. You see, at the moment I'm running pretty much exclusively from closed throttle up to a quarter throttle. Just feel it bogs a little bit, and where it goes super lean, super lean. But I'm a little bit reluctant to change anything until, or adjust anything till it's hot. And what are you doing? Fucking, yeah, well you could have just come through and it would have been a lot easier for everyone. God, this world is full of idiots now. That is a very nice Jaguar. I like the colour of that. It's like a browny maroon. God knows what that is rattling around. My spanners. Are you going, mate? All right, now I'm going to head out. Right, I think I've just done all that without actually recording anything. Which is a massive fail. Where do I want to be going? This way? Ugh. I hate this head cam recording. I never know if I'm getting it right or not. So you might have a decent intro, or you might not. But anyway, we're just pootling around the badland streets of East London. Just getting a bit of temperature in the car. Getting it warmed up. And then basically, sorry if I've said this all already, but I think I'm going to need to raise the needle one notch just to get the quarter to three-quarter throttle fueling correct. And then as long as that doesn't blow the other circuits out, we're good. And by the way, this chap here owns some proper metal. Look at that. Oh yeah. His 75 isn't here. Alpha 75, not Rover. He's not that cool. But yeah, he's got some metal, that boy. But yeah, the new fuel pump is quieter as well, which is really a bit of a Brucey bonus. But look, you see, just idling nicely, just a smidge below 1,000, and you know, look how steady that is compared to what it used to be. It used to be cycling up, you know, maybe almost, you know, between 12 and 13 or 11 and 12, and now it's staying within. Bear in mind, it's still warming up, so it's going to drop as it gets warmer, and as it atomizes more fuel, it'll be able to burn more of it and run richer. But yeah, it's very, very steady. Very, very steady. So we'll go out onto the A12 or A13, I think it is. Get it hot, get it warm, and then if it's still misbehaving, we'll adjust the jets, then we'll take it out, and then hopefully that's it done. And then I'm going to order some new plugs, because today is Saturday, but on Wednesday we're at Brands Hatch. So yeah, we're going to go and do an evening track session. I want to see how it runs really, because at Landau it was brilliant. The circuit was just made for Elans, but I'm worried Brands, and bear in mind it's just the Indy circuit, might be a bit too big for it. And I think one of the wheels is out of balance, because when the speedo gets to about 90 to 100, I get a bit of a wobble through the front wheel. And I think when it's showing 90, it's doing just under 70 miles an hour in real speed. So, you know, down the straight at Brands, it probably do a bit more than that. But yeah, I imagine it's a big circuit, you know, anything like Snetterton or Silverstone or Donington, this would feel very out of depth, you know, unless you've got a proper engine and you don't mind rinsing the hell out of it. But you know, I should imagine this is made for places like Landau, Blyton, Cadwell, you know, maybe a short circuit at Bedford. You know, it's all about the twisty bits really. So corner entry speed, that's where you, even like pretty quick modern stuff. I mean, there was someone had a 130i with proper suspension and tyres on it, and they obliterated me everywhere. Corner entry and apex speed, oh my god, they were holding me up. Look at that, 183. Reminds me I need to get some juice in this, because my fuel gauge doesn't tell me how much I got. Right, A12. Let's head into London, shall we? See what's going on. Right, it's fairly steady. That's pretty much what it was doing yesterday. I'm feeling really pleased with this. Right, now we've got to pay attention, do some testing. So as you see there, when I'm just going down to a quarter throttle, it's just leaning out a bit. And I think that's because I've got my accelerator pump jets slightly out of adjustment, because that's what it needed before. But it obviously doesn't want that now. Then if we get to a quarter throttle, so you know, 12, that's great, and then we go to 3/4 throttle, leans out. And also what it doesn't do, hang on, I'll put the windows up.
what it's not doing is leaning out and then recovering. It's leaning out and then holding that lean number. So again, we're at about quarter throttle. Let's go to 3/4, 14, 13. See, it's holding it. So although that isn't running lean, we're missing out on power, and we've got quite a depressed mid-range on mid-throttle. Mid-throttle. Now if we go from quarter and we go to full throttle, see there we're running about 10, which is bordering on being too rich. And my worry is, well, actually the needle adjustment won't affect full throttle, because full throttle, what it does is it takes the needle jet completely out of the equation and just lets the main jet run free. So going 1 notch richer on the needle won't affect my full throttle, I'm pretty sure. So we should be able to just raise that clip. It'll be to its maximum, by the way, but we should be able to raise that clip, and because I'm fairly sure it's on notch number 4 at the moment, so we put it on 5, and then that should give me a pretty punchy car all the way through. But again, we're in third with about quarter throttle, about 11.5. Yeah, nice. We indicate bury it to a 3/4, and we're leaning out. We're still going pretty quickly, but we're leaning out a bit. Whereas if we go full throttle, much better. So that's what we'll do. We'll change the jet. Well, we won't change the jet, we'll raise the needle up. And hopefully we'll be pretty close then. Oh, I made a mistake coming in behind this McGann, didn't I? Sorry guys, got to put the windows down. It is absolutely sweltering. But yeah, also, I think this is a pretty good demonstration on just how usable the Elan is in modern traffic. I know it's not busy, but you know, it holds its own really easily. It's not like some classic cars which are, you know, a little bit less robust. Is he gonna squeeze me? No. It's good. Right. Get back on the A12. I'd also like to provide feedback on my sound insulating in the boot. Seems to have made a fucking huge improvement. Now, I can't claim everything for that, because also when I was fixing the exhaust leak in the join on the manifold, I noticed that I had the silencer on its highest position, so it looks better, because it still looks low when it's high, but that was actually causing the pipe to come into contact with the chassis, so I've dropped it down so it's even lower, but it's not bumping the chassis now, and yeah, it just feels so much better. So I'm then going to work my way through the car and just make it a little bit less rattly. These windows they rattle around like fuck, so I'm going to have to sort those. And then I think it's just, you know, making sure everything's clipped in and bolted in properly. But I would say we're pretty hot now, so let's do one last test. So quarter throttle, nice, low 12s, go to 3/4, bit lean. Although it's nice to be able to say it's lean and it's still in the 13s, because yeah, you don't want to burn a valve out. And then if we go quarter throttle and then full, coughs a little bit, because that's when it's obviously fully open, the airspeed's at its lowest, the accelerator pump's just chucked a load of fuel in it, so it did drop, but it instantly recovers. So I don't see how I can get around that. I think that's fine. Yeah, hopefully with this needle change we should have a very, very fit car. Very, very fit car. And yeah, I mean, if I had just back in March when I was fitting the carbs, or April when I was fitting them, just gone, actually, you know what, it's probably wise to put a new fuel pump and a new tank on, and we hadn't had that debacle with the chokes, this would have been done months ago. I was still in contact with Regency, and I just can't get my head around what they're saying. They're saying they spoke to another company that have tuned Mikunis before. Fair enough. And they say that the chokes aren't connected for road car use. And in some instances they aren't. But I'm saying all because the choke mechanism isn't connected doesn't mean that the choke system isn't there, because it's cast into the carb. And they didn't fucking spot it, and they didn't solve it. And then they handed me a car back and said it was brilliant when it wasn't. I mean, that's just bullshit. And the wheel fell off. So yeah, still pursuing those, but you know, if they don't play ball, I'll just take them to a small claims court, and even if I lose, it'll waste their time. See if they've wasted mine. But yeah, I also need to come up with a solution for storing my jack and hammer. I'm probably going to attach a wooden board to the boot and then make get some leather straps to put those on. And that should work quite nicely. But yeah, water temperature, I mean, it's a hot day and it's, you know, water temperature's great, the oil pressure's been good, it's still leaking oil, so that's going to be a winter project. But I mean, you know, this is just fucking good as gold, isn't it? It's just idling nicely. I mean, you know, it's not V12 smooth, but it's not far off. I mean, my Rover's a bit rough on idle. It's not far off the Rover. Oh, I love being in London. Literally, people are a millisecond off moving. They get fucking beeped. Move or get beeped, you fuckers. Come on, Zoe. Oh, what are you doing? I also like the fact that this is ULEZ compliant. Let that electric car feast on my unburnt hydrocarbons. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's feeling really good. Really good. And what I just said earlier about it, had I done all the bits at the beginning and it had just gone perfectly, would I be enjoying it as much as this, knowing that I've all the fault finding, have solved the problems, I've fixed them, and look, I mean, look, it's still fucking idling brilliantly. Oh, it's just great. I mean, obviously it's been more problematic, and the problems, I think you can pretty much trace all of them back, and they were all caused by me, either by something I've done or something I haven't done. So, you know, I'm not claiming any glory there, but you know, the fact that I've gone down this route and it's come out working is giving me an enormous sense of satisfaction. And yeah, I feel like I certainly know a fuckload more about cars and tuning now, about AFR ratios. You know, when I first got this gauge, I thought that the higher the number, the richer it was. And then, you know, we were homing in on the perfect Deutsch 14.7. Well, you know, then we learned that actually, I say we've all learned on this journey, we've learned that actually, you know, 11 and 12 isn't bad. And if you want 12 AFR on your power bits, your full throttle, you've sort of got to have it around about idle. You can't set your idle really lean and then have it drop down for perfect acceleration. That's just not how carbs work. If I've got that bit wrong, someone please correct me, but you've sort of got to, you know, either take a bit of a tune in the middle to please everything, or you've got to go, no, I don't mind a bit of loss of economy, I could replace the plugs every so often, but I want all the powers, and this is what you've got to do. But yeah, I mean, I've pretty much tuned this car on my own. I haven't done the timing. Timing was set by Regency, and from everything I know, I think that has been done well and it's correct. So I haven't touched any of the ignition timing that they've done, but all of the carb stuff, I've set it up with this little AM gauge, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without this. So anyone who says you don't need an AFR gauge, tell them to fuck off and fit one, because if nothing else, if there's a problem with your car, this will tell you about it. You know, if you're suddenly running lean, you'll go, whoa, 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 mate, you're lean. Sorry, being a hooligan. But I just have this mindset that everyone wants to listen to my carbs. I mean, why would they not? I mean, if you see he does over there in that little coffee shop. You know, if I was on the street, I would want to listen, and I saw this coming past, I want to hear someone give it a proper gutful, wouldn't you? It's one of life's pleasures. Like when I had my V10 M5, you know, I always gave everyone the full symphony wherever possible, and the key thing is, in that car you could do it without driving quickly, because it sounded just awesome everywhere. And whatever, just on the V10 M5, whatever anyone tells you about the gearbox, they're full of shit. The gearbox is one of the star pieces of the car. It's only idiots who don't know how to drive it that expect it to be some wank DSG box or a full auto, which it's neither. It's an automated manual, and you have to drive with it, and you have to know what it can and can't do. But it's just wonderfully mechanically engaging, and it's responsive, it's aggressive, it's really fucking serious at times, and it makes wonderful noises. It makes the car kind of, you know, a bit jerky and whatever, but I love it. You know, all these people saying, oh, 6-speed convert your M5. They need lynching because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They really don't. You know, that SMG3 by the way, because I also had SMG2 in my CSL, and that, although yes, I quite liked it, it wasn't as good. You got a lot of clutch slur unless you had a very, very fresh clutch in it. But yeah, we'll see some cars up here. This old Saab's always here, that's always nice to see. And we'll see a bit of there's a bit of Rover content as well. There's a lot of old money around here in Wanstead. A lot of old money. Fucking Bentley or Rolls Royce, like a Turbo R. There's this house just up here. I think that one there with the van that looks like it's moulding away to death. There it is. Oh, yeah boy. I hope you saw that. I hope this video comes out as well, otherwise I've been talking to myself for 20 minutes for nothing. I must admit, this car, if I didn't change the needles, I still reckon it's fucking spot on. See? People think you're driving a cute little... Right. Just go get these needles adjusted and take it out for another test run. I've adjusted the jets, so let's head out to the East London test track, aka the A12. I suppose we could do the North Circular, couldn't we? But let's stick with the A12. I suspect my idle may need a bit of fine tuning, but I'm not going to do too much more at this stage, to be honest. As long as it runs right, I'm just going to give it 1,000 miles, get the carbs off, clean the carbs, new fuel filter, and then I'll aim for perfection from there. I think for the time being it's going to be close enough, and I'd wager the best the car has probably ever run in its life, because it'd have never run this well on Strombergs and old ignition. Would it now? Well, idle's still good. Let's go left. Oh, I was already indicating left, so we're definitely going left. And it's really easy to trickle through as well. Always remember the Strombergs, unless they were spot on and just been tuned, they'd be great flat out but pretty shit elsewhere. But this, I mean, I just want to easily roll up. It really just isn't a problem. Now it's running quite rich at idle, which it wasn't doing before. That shouldn't have changed with the needle position, should it? You see, there's always something, but that is an easy fix with a twiddle of the air screw, so I'm not hugely concerned about that. I think just here will do me. Or is that blocking someone's drive? Oh, I hate parking! Right, Ollie, you're just gonna have to be a man. No one cares. Right, so we're at there we go. Feels a lot happier, and that was probably three quarters of a turn. Make it a little bit leaner. Oh, why have I come down this road full of bumps? Fuck me, there's more of the cunts. Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to turn around, head back towards the A12, wait for this. Oh, for fuck's sake, mate, you can see I'm stopped. Some people really annoy me when they're like overly polite. It's like I'm there waiting. He can see, he must be able to see that my head is blocked by the car and I can't see him. And he stops. It's like those people they're coming down a road and they like flash you through and you're like, mate, you were moving, I was already stopped. Just carry on, you know. No need for you to stop. I'm already stationary. Just, I know it's my right of way, but just fucking through you come. Oh, Christ. Oh, this head mount's starting to give me a headache. Right, just give it a squiz at the A12, fingers crossed we're okay, and then I'm going to rip it off and enjoy my drive back. And then you guys are going to get some lovely point of view driving through East London. I mean, you know, who could want more than that? It's like everyone's Christmases come at once. They're like, wow, where are these fucking roads? They look amazing. Ah, well guys, they're just inside the North Circular in East London. And you can drive them too if you follow my route. Yeah, you go through Romford, Ilford, Walthamstow, Leytonstone, Stratford. unhidden gems in London. Unhidden gems? Hidden gems in London. Discovered. Yeah, that could be my new thing, you know. Who wants to drive around the Black Mountains, or, you know, through the Highlands or Spain or wherever? You come drive in East London. You get speed humps, you get patchwork tarmac, you get roadmen, whatever they are. You know, you get it all. It's dropped again. It's gone a bit richer. Quarter throttle. Fucking hell. The idle's a little bit rich, but the rest of it feels brilliant. What's happened to my gearbox? That's not right. Something's gone on. It's loose. That doesn't feel right at all. I think my gear lever's moved. Yeah, you can tell it's be a little bit rich. It's a little bit flat off the mark. But I think if we tune that out, the rest of it feels great. I think my gear lever's moved around. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, you see it flattens out. But once you're above it, oh yeah. Fucking beautiful. Right, so third gear, quarter throttle, going to 3/4, full. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, this mount's hurt and I'm going to have to take it off.